Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. Today we did end up taking a pretty terrible loss on my part specifically. The model was there, everything was there, everything realigns. I just happened to screw myself up by not paying attention to ES. I took a 15-second Judas at 9:30 open. It was very volatile, very quick. So let's get into that trade idea overall and see how I could have, potentially saved myself and gotten some sort of break even at this time. I'm just gonna quickly go to ES real quick to see if replay mode is on there. Yeah, okay, bet. So overall, going into the morning, I was very bullish, as you guys can see on. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm very sorry for this replay mode like logo or whatever. I'm really trying to fix it. I'm gonna do some research after. Okay, so anyways, you can see this big daily gap right here. We are clearly wicking it by 170 points, just showing overall respect to the higher time frame buy model, right? What are we doing on the 4-hour intermediate low, and what are we doing on the 4-hour time frame, right? We're on the much higher time frame. We swept out this 4-hour intermediate low, putting in some sort of SMT with ES where NQ takes the low, but ES does not. It's right here, right? And then oh, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, anyways, we end up taking that low, and we're just delivering higher, right? We're disrespecting bullish on the much higher time frame, and we are respecting, we're disrespecting bearish and respecting bullish, right? We're disrespecting bearish and we're respecting bullish gaps on the way up, okay? And what we end up doing, obviously we're not always going to completely distribute. We're going to generate liquidity. And what do we end up doing on the much higher time frame? Well, on NQ, we end up leaving these 4-hour relatively equal highs, and we left this this 1-hour, this 4-hour intermediate high, right, with this NWOG right here. As you guys know, the NWOG is a very strong DOL, and price loves to rebalance it, right? So when we create gaps entirely, price tends to want to rebalance it entirely, like fill it completely, then reverse, right? So we fill the gap completely, and then we go for our main draw on liquidity, whether that's lower or higher, doesn't really matter. It's just how it works, okay? And yeah, so overall, that's just a very strong draw on liquidity, and price just likes to fill it completely, which we have not gotten yet on both ES and NQ. Going on ES, see right here, it's right here, yeah. And anyways, yeah, going into the morning, it was we're showing a lot of obvious respect to this 15-minute gap and this 1-hour gap. The same thing that we're doing with the daily gap, we are also wicking the 1-hour bullish gap. This is price being fractal. Whatever happens on the higher time frame happens on the lower time frame, it happens on the even lower time frame, and keeps going completely, right? So we're obviously respecting this level, and we got this very obvious buy side. We have this unfilled 15-minute. What's leading up to this unfilled 15-minute? Well, we have low resistance. So basically what I'm yapping about entirely is we have draws higher and not very too much draws lower. We are respecting bullish gaps and we are disrespecting bearish gaps. Look for longs, okay? But how do we look for longs in this scenario, right? So at 9:30, what do you usually want to see? Well, you want to see if price chops around during pre-market, like we did here, right? Very terrible drawing, holy shit. But anyways, price, okay, I'm gonna redo this, sorry. All right, so we are accumulating. What do I want to see 9:30 do? 9:30 maybe opens, trades a little higher, generates more liquidity, right? And then opens lower, tapping into some sort of key level, then getting our inversion to target much higher, right? This is the scenario that you want. You always want us to open and then trade lower to then go higher, and vice versa. You want us to go lower, go higher at open if you want to go lower. Right, so you want to see that open, high, low close in a bear scenario, and for a bullish scenario, you want to see that open, low, high close. I think I repeated myself. Fuck. I hope I'm not trying to confuse you guys overall. All I'm saying is we're in bullish scenario. 9:30 opens, then it opens, it trades lower, then trades higher, then gets a close. right? That's all I'm trying to say. Oh shoot. All right, so we are sitting inside this 15-minute gap right here. We are respecting this 15-minute gap, but I'm just gonna say 15-minute. All right, we are respecting it, but I do want to see us get that open low where we end up re-sweeping the low. So what do we end up doing at 9:30? Well, we end up sweeping out this entire low right here, completely running through it. This 1 hour low, it's a sell side liquidity pool of the curve, right? And what is it sitting inside? Well, it is sitting inside this hourly gap, right? We just took out the other wick sitting inside this gap. So this is an hourly intermediate low. This is a really strong key level to then deliver to opposing prices and opposing drawdown liquidities. Now, you can see we do not have a gap anywhere that we could have possibly inversed on the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, yeah, etc. Okay, I did end up taking a 15-second. Usually I take 30 seconds for my second time frame inversions, but today the highest time frame one was a 15-second, and I just incorporated that, and I've had a really good win rate backtesting with 15-second inversions, right? So let me scroll all the way here. Wowzers. Okay. Yeah, right here you can see at 9:30 open, we end up getting a close above this 15-second, but on the left side, this is the 30-second chart. We do not get an inversion or even fair value gap to begin with, right? So this is the highest time frame. This is the one I ended up taking. And you might ask me, why the flip did this shit lose, right? Well, it lost primarily because ES decides to run all the draws on liquidity before NQ and entirely without NQ. All right, so price opens on ES. ES has this very obvious buy side above, right? This 15-minute intermediate high, and right above it is this NWOG that still needs to be filled. Well, ES loved the draw on liquidity, obviously, and it ended up running higher really fast, and taking out all our draws on liquidity. What is NQ doing in this scenario? Well, NQ is nowhere near the draw on liquidity, right? It is still almost 100 points away from it, okay? In this case scenario, what I usually do is I end up going break even, but I did not end up going break even in this scenario, and I ended up getting stop rated. That's basically it. I never got break even. Usually I do go break even in these scenarios, but yeah, just unfortunate, honestly. Wasn't paying attention to ES today. It was the one day I decided not to, and this was the entire trade idea. We have clear draws on liquidity above, we have the unfilled 4 hour, we have the failed swing buy side. We're delivering from multiple key levels. We're respecting bullish and disrespecting bearish. This is lovely. We got that 9:30 Judas, a very strong close on the 15-second. The only thing was NQ was lagging today, and I was not paying attention to ES when it was running all the draws. And yeah, hopefully you guys liked this recap. Very unfortunate on my part. Hopefully most people that took this 15-second got break even because they were smart enough to pay attention to ES. And yeah, that's the trade recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.